open it up.
Just a general maybe football question to start. There hasn't been a punt return touchdown in the NFL all season long. Khalif's 48-yarder is the longest. You've got a pretty good pulse on special teams. I'm just curious, maybe the reason for that, is that just the evolution of the punter, or what do you maybe put your finger on with
I would
that?
say the punters in this league are getting a lot better, and they have, particularly over the last, 5 to 8 years there, man. I think so much more. Is that your tracker? Yeah. It's crazy. No, I think ball location has a lot to do with it. That certainly helps, but I think it's just, man, I don't know, that this is an odd year. Normally you would have quite a few by now. So
1960, I think. Rick Osling had this stat in 1960 since we've gone into December without one. So I was just curious.
It's unbelievable. I do think there's something to that, though, with the punters in this league. But I'll say this, too, Leafs up to the point where we got that 48-yarder, man, we've been this close. And we've said it every week. It's like, my gosh, we're one block away from him taking it because he's got the ability to do that. So, and I'm sure there's others on tapes you see they're close, too. It hadn't popped yet. And probably what will happen will be about 6 this week. So, go ahead.
Come to any sort of decision on how you're going to honor the Oxford victims this weekend, or what you guys can do to?
Well, look, I know us as the players, the organization, everybody, just as a starting point, man, we're gonna have T-shirts, we got hats made, we're gonna have decals on the back of the helmets. We'll have a moment of silence before the game, certainly, but those guys are on our minds. And so, we want to represent them on Sunday. I know there'll be a group of those students and kids and people that have been affected will be watching this game. So, right now, that's the best way to help them.
To Zach, and if so,
I did. Well, it was basically phone tag is what we did. And I shared with him the same thoughts. Where it was just that I was thinking about all the families we all were, and prayers, and thinking about him, and it's tough, and there's no other way to put it. And he said it's a tough ordeal, man. This is a tough thing we're going through right now, rightly so.
Coach, what has kept your team together in all of this? And maybe the Eagles game is sort of got away from, but you compete hard week after week after week. What does it seem like any sign that's got consumed by it all?
Well, look, I think that it starts with the staff. I think the staff's done a good job of keeping the energy alive and keeping the hope there, and just continuing to coach up the details of the game, and all these players, man, they want to know that you care about them and that you've got some tools for them that are going to help them be better. And that's what our guys do. So I would credit the staff, but I credit our guys too. Look, we've got the vets we've got on this team they're good vets, man, and they understand it's about, at some point when you don't get the wins, it's still about pride, and it's about the way you want your play to look on tape, and ultimately what we want to look like as a team. And then we've got a lot of young, hungry players, man, that want an opportunity to play, and a lot of them are getting that opportunity, so that helps too.
A couple injured players, Austin Seibert, getting close to being eligible to return. There was a report out there he had surgery. Is he going to be able to come back this year, do you think?
No, he won't be. He'll be done for this year.
Well, we've seen Quintez hanging around practice.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple months time frame on that one. Any hope or optimism that he might be able to return late in the year?
I think it'll be highly unlikely. But both of those players we feel very good about in 2022. Being healed up, ready to go.
Another football-related thing, I guess. No Delvin Cook this week. Obviously, you guys faced him with Madison before, but just what sort of challenge does Madison present as a lead back in that running game?
Look, we faced him the first time, and I think he's a good back, man. He's steady, he's solid, and he's one of those guys you can't sleep on. And they've been running that scheme for a while. He understands that he's a good back in that system, and as he proved game one, it only takes one to kick out of there and change a game, and he's got that ability. And look, we can't sleep on 26 either now, because I know they're going to sprinkle him in and play him, and he's got the speed to. He breaks it on the perimeter, and we look out, because he can take it to the house just like he's done on punt return. But 25, I think he's a good back. He's a workhorse.
I'm not sure if you gave an update on Swift or just him moving forward.
Yeah, right now I feel like he may be a week away. I'm hoping that, as a matter of fact. He's still pretty sore, but he's getting better. He's improving, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes here. I'll know a lot more tomorrow. You see how he feels day in and day out, but as of right now, he's pretty tender.
It's not really a situation that you would consider shutting him down for a year at all or anything at all.
No, we don't feel that way. We don't feel that way. We still have hope in Swift.
This year, though, man, I know it's the NFL, so guys get hurt, but the injuries, it seems like all the injuries you had, it's meant to the extreme in a lot of senses. Like, how do you coach around that and get around that as well? I know it's next man up, but just how do you game plan when you're having all these crazy injuries?
Well, you do the best you can to try to help those guys and try to, there again, I guess, somewhat allow them to be able to succeed in what you do game plan wise as much as you can. You can't always work around things like that, but try to allow them to have a little success and do things they do well, and not try to overburden them. Now, when you do get a lot of injuries, it's hard to start trying to do that with different spots. But there is some of that to it. But there again, man, everybody deals with injuries, and it's been that way for years. As a player and as a coach, I've seen it over and over, and it's and you got to be able to adjust. So and that's the biggest thing is I know you said that, but you're just preaching. Look, it's your opportunity now, and you got to be the guy. You can't be the weak link. You're the next one up. You're starting for us, and you got to be able to produce for us.
Mentality. You don't have a one-to-one replacement for Swift, and he does so much for you, particularly on third down. So, what would have been the challenges, I guess, as you've tried to construct a game plan and maybe looking into the future with the play calling in game? Like, what are the challenges of replacing him?
Yeah, look, it's not easy to replace a guy like him, as dynamic as he's been. I mean, you're making a good point, and so I think it really becomes that production is by committee now. Where does Swiss production go now to get it back? And I would say we're trying to find ways to spread it throughout this roster of skill players that we do have. Swift's going to take a lot of. Jamal's going to take a lot of that. So are the other two backs, Jefferson, Godwin, but and then some of the other just pass production is going to have to come from our receivers and tight ends.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay.